Hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm Dave McEachern, Managing Director from Ahead. A little bit about Ahead before we get kicked off. We grew up in the data center space and we retain deep infrastructure expertise at the core of our business. But as you can imagine, as the market changed and developed over time, we invested in numerous other areas. We started to expand in consulting and managed services, and along with a number of innovative practices like cloud and security and data, Ahead became key partner to countless enterprises along their digital and business transformation journeys. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Steve Winawer, Head of Digital and Data Technology, USBU at Takeda Pharmaceutical Company. Steve, thanks for joining me. How about you tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background? We're very excited to have you joining us today.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for the opportunity. So, kind of told a lot about it right in my title. So, I am responsible for DD&T in the US business unit, and that is focused almost completely on the commercial part. I joined Takeda about 4 years ago. I've been in pharma since '99. Before that, film, television, music, rock and roll, but that was a longer hair time. But I would say that the journey that I would say in my career and then really mirrored at an accelerated pace in Takeda is build up that solid foundation that you can then leverage, not only in terms of the data or the technology, but it's also in terms of the trust and reputation of your team and your function. It all goes together. And so that focus on a solid foundation allows us to go into all the next things we're doing in innovation, AI, all of it. It's that foundational focus. And that's really where I started up in our joining Takeda. And now we're leveraging that foundation to do some great stuff.
That's great. And as that background helped to kind of shape your approach with data and innovation, how did that come into play with regard to the AI use cases and identifying the business problems that you tackle within Takeda?
So I think it starts with at the core. Now that you've got that at the table, we all talk about as IT professionals seat at the table. Now that you've got that, now you're understanding what are the problems or the opportunities, and you're part of a conversation. And then we right away, and it's been great, we've got a number of our business teams who go straight from, I understand the problem I want to solve. And you ask, do we have the data in shape that would help us solve the problem? And then we're focusing on where's it coming from? How can we trust it? How can we keep it in good shape so that it continues to feed whatever is the AI solution we're going to go? And so we've had a couple of cases where folks have identified great problems that we say, well, you know what? We haven't yet got the data in a shape to be an AI-based solution. And we then focused on that. How do we get the data shaped to where we want? Others, it's been like an example we had one with government improvement. Go, wow, that data is already very nicely available on a government website. Let's just go figure out how to get it and use it. So really, that's what it is. It's that understanding the problem and shifting quickly to, can we feed the engine the fuel in data that it needs to succeed?
That makes sense. You mentioned government. If you talked a little bit more about that, do you have any specific examples around how you do that, specifically around regulatory issues that you have to deal with within Takeda? I can imagine that's pretty complex in how you're dealing with regulatory issues.
Thank you. That's very much front of mind at the moment and in front of all of what we're doing. So, with the evolution of data privacy regulations in the US, where 22 states have passed their own unique and special regulations for data privacy, we've put a lot of investment and focus in it. We have a digital privacy officer function at the center of the company, the enterprise level. We're looking at how do those various regulations come into play. We've integrated into all of our governance, ensuring that the way we use data that we talked about, trustable AI, responsible use of data, we're very focused on ensuring that as we go through use cases, we're checking, are we using the data in a way that responds to the expectations of our patients, our customers, and our reputation, and then complying with what is required for that. And so it's whether it's relooking at consents that we've got from patients for data, or looking at what data can we use in what way in that state regulation. So adapting to the environment as well as to the expectations of our patients and our communities is a major part of responding. It's not just about government, it's also about what people do expect.
That's a complex issue. And one aspect that I kind of jumped over, and we jumped right into regulatory and compliance issues, is one aspect that's tough. Another thing that we see a lot of is just the general framework, right? When we talk about the framework, coming back to the data sources,
Mhm.
how are you dealing with the trusted sources of the data? If we go back to that, and how you're handling the trust versus how quickly you're getting data out of it, and the performance in meeting the business needs, how do you balance that?
It's thank you. It's a great question, but it's not really a new one. So when I think back when we were first starting to use third-party digital data from various little website solutions or little HCP communities, you'd have data that would come in 1 month, an entirely blank file. All right, because it was just beginning. And so the whole notion of data quality, reliability has been there for a while. The good news is now we've got lots of really great tools for automation and AI to check it, fix it, interpret it, flag it, whatever. But at the same time, the appetite of the solutions is ramping up just as quickly. And so it's about putting into to solve it, it's just an expansion of what any large company's been doing for a while. You've got to put quality and reliability performance management at the back door to make sure that as early and as far upstream as you can, you understand the reliability of that data, so you could call it trusted. And that's it's really that whole more to do, better tools to do it, but do it faster.
It's always a pleasure to chat with you, Steve. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate you joining me today. And
My pleasure.
we'll wrap things up. Thank you all. For more interviews and insights, please visit cdomagazine.tech.